So how can you increase your metabolism? Now, the most effective way of all is to gain weight. Basically, the more you weigh, the more lean mass you tend to have and the higher your metabolism. Now, unfortunately, that's not really conducive to weight loss. So what other ways can we use to increase our metabolism? Now, the thing is, there's not really a lot that we can do. There are things, yes, like caffeine, building muscle, resistance training. And whilst these do increase our metabolism a little bit, it's just nothing significant. It's nothing life-changing. You know, say the caffeine might be, say, 30 calories over 3 hours. Building muscle, people say, oh, build muscle because you'll be like a fat burning machine and you'll burn fat all day, every day. A pound of muscle burns about 6 calories a day. So if you build 10 pounds of muscle, you'll increase your metabolism by 60 calories a day. I mean, it's not insignificant, but again, it's not life-changing. And also resistance training sessions, yes. It will depend on how much work we do, but you could see, say, 60 to 170 calorie increase a day for 24 to 72 hours after your training session. So again, these things could add up, but you're not going to turn into a fat burning machine. You know, you can't just sit on the sofa and melt fat. You know, you still have to do the work or do some work. And even then, 50 to 75% of the extra calories that you'll burn a day come from the work itself, rather than this afterburn effect. Yes, there is one, but again, you know, it's not gonna be life-changing as such. And that may sound a bit morbid, but the truth of the matter is you probably don't need to increase your metabolism. I mean, metabolisms don't vary a lot between most people. Yes, there will be outliers, but for most, it won't vary that much from one person to the other. And even if you do have a true slower metabolism, it's not actually associated with difficulty losing weight. You know, we've seen studies that people with slow metabolisms lose just as much weight as people with fast metabolisms. So it's not actually that significant of an impact for the majority of people. And what I tend to find is that a lot of the time, it's much more likely to be other factors that are impeding your results than your metabolism. Two of the biggest that I tend to see are how much you eat and how much you move. So it's very easy and very common to misreport how much you eat. You know, we see studies where even dietitians, people who are in this field of study, that is what they do, even they can misreport by like 300 calories. And what we see for us lay people is, you know, we see studies where people eat 1,200 calories more a day than they think they are. You know, they think they're eating 1,200 a day. They're actually eating 2,400. We see other studies where people underreport by 1,000 calories. They're eating 1,000 calories more a day than they think they are. And when we take people in these studies and the researchers put them on the calories that they actually think they're eating, they lose weight. Why? Because they weren't eating that amount. They were just eating significantly more than they thought they were. And again, it's easy to do. I'm not calling you out for this and saying you're bad because of this, because as I said, even dietitians who do this every day, even they can be off. So, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. And that's not a dig. It's just me saying it's very easy and very common to do. Another one, the other side of this, is how much we move. And I'm not talking exercise sessions here. What I'm talking is something that I talk about a lot, and I do a lot of videos on, is what we call NEAT. So non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is basically just a fancy way of saying all the movement you do throughout the day that isn't exercise. So forget your exercise session. All of the movement that you do for the rest of the day that isn't in that exercise session classes as NEAT. So it's basically just your daily movement. It could be your housework, the gardening, walking up and down the stairs, walking to work, the movement that you do while you're at work. All of this adds up to NEAT, basically. And what we find is when we diet, our or our brains basically don't like us losing weight. So it sort of starts this sort of starvation response that makes it harder for us to lose weight. One of them is increasing our hunger, which is why, again, it's easy for us to over-report because we eat more than we think. The other one is it makes us move around less. So we basically subconsciously move less throughout the day. And when we look at studies on this, we see that people will sometimes move up to, they'll move less up to a tune of 580 odd calories a day. So they're burning 580 calories a day less because they're not moving as much throughout the day. And the most important thing that I want to emphasize on this point is this is subconscious. You won't be aware that you're doing this. It's not like you've had the rational thought and said, oh, I'm on a diet and I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm not going to bother moving as much today. You don't think this rationally. It's a subconscious thought. And again, it's difference is huge, 580 calories a day, right? That's a massive difference. And you may not even be aware that you're doing it. So in summary, what I want people to take from this video is don't really worry about your metabolism because it might not be slow. If it is, it shouldn't really impact how much you lose weight anyway. And even then, there's not a lot we can do about it, Again, we can do those things that we mentioned, caffeine, building muscle, doing resistance training, and they will add up, but it's just not that significant, particularly when we look at the other factors that I spoke about. So, let's say that, you build 10 pounds of muscle and you do a resistance training session. You may increase your metabolism by 230 calories a day, which again, that is not insignificant. And I'm not saying that because it definitely does add up. But when you look at the 1,000 calories that you might be misreporting, you're eating 1,000 calories less than you think you are, and the 580 calories that you're moving less, that's nearly 1,600 calories a day. And that is significantly higher than the 230 calories of the muscle and the training sessions, right? So again, I just want people to focus on things that they can change. By all means, do your resistance training sessions, drink your coffee, build muscle because you should be doing those. And I'm not discouraging people not to do those because there are 1,000 reasons why you should do that. Just don't look at it as I'm building this muscle to be a fat burning machine. Look at it because you're doing it because it has numerous health benefits and it makes you look fantastic naked. Don't look at it as a fat burning tool. And focus on the things that you can really change, like how much you're eating and how much you're moving. Remember, it's very easy to eat more than we think, and you may be subconsciously moving less. You just won't be aware of it. So basically, if you really are struggling, maybe it's time to monitor how much you eat more closely. Take a real good look about how much you're really eating. And secondly, try and keep your daily activity high. Remember, we're not talking about exercise sessions here. We're talking about the movement we do throughout the day, outside of our exercise. And the easiest way to monitor this is step counts. Most phones now have pedometers built in. If you want to go old school, get one, clip it on your hip, whatever. Get a Fitbit, an activity tracker, doesn't matter. See how many like you're doing and try and keep them as high as you can. Keep that daily activity high. And that's it, guys, basically. So, like I say, those things that I've said to increase your metabolism, I'm not saying they're insignificant. They do add up, and there are reasons why you should do them. Just don't look at it like I'm going to do that to sit on the sofa and burn fat all day, because it's not going to happen. And again, just try and focus on things that you can really change and will make a massively significant impact. Like making sure you're actually eating how much you think you are, and B, you're keeping your daily activity high. So hopefully you got some value from that. If you did, as always, guys, keep the interaction up because I do appreciate it. Give the video a like, drop a comment, any thoughts that you have. Maybe you've learned something from this lesson, let me know. Maybe there's something that you thought I missed, whack that in as well. It's always cool to see people's insights, to see if they found the video useful. So I do always appreciate interaction on the posts. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There should be a button in the top corner for you to do so. And yeah, hopefully you got some value from that, and I shall see you next time, guys. Thank you.